Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Rachel. If this is your first time here, welcome. And if it's not your first time here, thanks for coming back. So today, I'm going to be ranking all of the eyeshadow palettes that I tried in the month. Now, I'm only going to rank the ones that I've used enough that I can actually have an opinion on them, not ones that I've used just once or twice. These are ones that I've used quite a few times, and I just want to, spice it up and rank them a little bit. So these are all palettes that I have tried for the first time in the month. These are new palettes to me. A lot of them aren't new to the market, they're just new to me. I don't know, sounds like it could be fun, right? If you didn't catch my huge makeup haul that I did at the very beginning of the year, I will link that down below, but I bought a crazy amount of palettes. And of course, I'm continuing to buy more palettes because I have a problem. And so this just kind of allows me to try things, and as I'm trying them and use them, giving my review to you. Does that sound good? Let's do it. All of the palettes I talk about, I will link in the description box below. So I have 7 palettes to talk about. So coming in at number 7 is the ColourPop Down to Earth Pressed Powder Quad. Now, if you've been here before, you know I've talked about these quads and how much I freaking love them, how good the quality is on the quads. I did buy 3 when they first had the first round of quads that they came out with, and I thought the quality was unbelievable. The mattes were so blendable and so pigmented, and the metallics were so sparkly and just so good. So I thought, I'm gonna pick up the one that's all mattes because I am more of a matte girl. If I had to choose or had to categorize myself as a matte girl or a shimmer girl, I would say I'm more of a matte girl. I really love mattes. I can do a lot of looks with just mattes, or I can use this and just find a shimmer or a single shadow to pair with this. I was really disappointed in this. Not the black, but the other 3 shadows were not super pigmented. They did come off as pigmented as they do in the pan, in my opinion. And the thing that really makes this come in last is the black. When I tell you the crazy amount of fallout, and not just fallout when you're applying it, I can handle that. I do my eyes first. If there's some fallout, I can wipe it away. But throughout the day, I'm not okay with that. Let me kind of quickly explain. I used this black as eyeliner. I love doing that with a black or a dark brown shadow. Just taking an angled liner brush and just making a soft wing with it. And the first time I did it, I gave it the benefit of the doubt. I said, okay, I didn't wet my brush, so there was a lot of fallout. Let me try to wet my brush. Well, I wet my brush and I applied it. And at the end of the day, I had all black eyeshadow under my eyes. Not a good look. Not a good look at all. I'm really disappointed. Of course, it was only I don't know, whatever, $10, $8 or something like that. So it's not the end of the world, but I don't recommend this one. I don't think the quality is as good as the other ones that I have used in the past. Okay, and then coming in at number 6 is the Flower Beauty Forbidden Fruit eyeshadow palette. So I did do a full face of Flower Beauty. If you missed it, I will link it down below. And I did pick up this eyeshadow palette for the video. And I had bought it on the Flower Beauty website. I picked it up because I'd never heard of it before. I just thought it was something different that I'd never seen before. I've never heard anybody talk about it, and I wanted to try it out. So this palette is not terrible. I can work with it. It's okay, but it's definitely not the best or even close to the best one that I tried this month. The color story to me is nothing that I really am drawn to, nothing that I really love. These tones are they're a little bright and kind of, I don't know, just not me. So already the color story to me is not great. The mattes in here are okay, actually. They're pretty good, especially for a drugstore price point. They're pretty good. The 2 shimmers, Lychee and Citrus, are pretty good metallic shadows. But Melon, Exotic, and Pomegranate, the other 3, are just very, very lackluster. It's a shame because Melon has a duochrome to it. It shifts purple and creamy orangey color. If they had executed this better, I think it would have been a really nice shadow, but it's more of like a satin color, which is not my thing. I also do not like the packaging on this. The fact that, and I did mention this in my video, there's like a plastic thingy-majiggy, and in order to shut the palette, you have to push the plastic into the palette. So God forbid you break this or it goes missing, you're in trouble because then it will just sit open like this. Not the best idea in my opinion. It's just okay. The mattes were pretty good, but that's kind of all I can say about it. So that's why it's number 6. And the number 5 palette is also a drugstore palette. This is the Milani Gilded Flora palette. So this is a new palette. I think it came out at the very end of last year or the very beginning of this year. I ordered quite a few things from the Milani website. I got this, I got one of the lip oils, I got one of their like all-in-one face, cheek, eye palettes. I think I got something else. It's slipping my mind. Anyway, I was gonna do like a video on the whole collection or the things that I bought, but it literally took, I think I ordered this on January 2nd and I didn't get it till January 22nd. It took forever to get here. Anyway, that has nothing to do with the palette. So this is why I didn't really do a dedicated video to this, but I have been testing it out. The packaging on this is really nice, especially for a drugstore palette. It feels pretty nice quality. It's cardboard. It has a nice big mirror in it. The color story in this I thought was really pretty when I saw it online. I immediately wanted to buy it, which is why I did, obviously. But this color story I think is so pretty, especially for spring. Not a ton of depth. Like this is the darkest matte shade and it's really not that deep. So that's kind of unfortunate. It's not really going to give you any depthy sort of looks, but it is a pretty like springy type of palette. Okay, now it's kind of the opposite of what I said about the Flower Beauty one. The mattes in this are not great. They're not pigmented. They're very, very, very powdery. Like when you put your brush in, a lot kicks back. And when you apply it to the eye, especially like these pastel-y tones, there's not a lot of color payoff. I'm sure if you put down like a white base or something like that, you can get more color payoff, but just using them on their own, they're really not that pigmented. The metallics, though, are very, very pretty, very sparkly. I've seen a lot of drugstore palettes doing this now. They're more of like that thinner, super sparkly, foily, like not super thick type of formula. Did that make sense? It didn't come out how I wanted it to. But the metallics are really, really pretty, actually. They're very nice. They're, like I said, very sparkly. Yeah, those are really pretty. Really, really pretty. They have a lot of different colors in terms of metallics. You can get a good variety of looks with this. Like, there's a lot of versatility. It's not super monochromatic. So, is it worth $20 though? Because this is a $20 palette. I think that's kind of pricey, in my opinion, for what you're getting. I don't regret buying this. I don't feel like I needed it. And if I'm going to recommend it, I would say if you think you're going to get a lot of use out of this, it's probably worth $20. But if you have a lot of other colors in your collection like these, I don't think it's worth $20. That's kind of where I'm at. I didn't need it. It's pretty, but like you could get a ColourPop palette for way higher quality and probably less money. So, and they probably have a color story just like this. All right, coming in at number 4 is another drugstore palette. So this is the LA Girl Hey Hey Vacay Under the Palms eyeshadow palette. I don't know why they don't put the Under the Palms on the front. It's like in tiny, tiny little print on the back. First of all, the packaging is very nice. Out of the 3 drugstore palettes I've mentioned, this is the best quality of packaging. It's very heavy. It's still sleek, but it's very sturdy feeling. I like the quality of these shadows a lot. They're very good, especially for the price point that they're at. I'm trying to get it so they don't shine. It's hard to hold this open with one hand. Hold on. All right, so the quality of both the mattes and metallics are very good. I think the metallics are a little bit better than the mattes, and some of the metallics are a little chunky, like this one over here is like super crumbly. But you know what? Again, it's pretty good for a drugstore palette. I really do like it. I also like the fact that these pans are The pans are very large. You're getting a lot of product in this. Oh, and you get a giant mirror. But I feel like so many of these shades are repeated. They might look a little different when you're looking at them in the pan, but on the eyes, they look so incredibly similar. I think they could have A, either made this way more condensed, or B, replaced some of the shadows for other things. Like these two oranges look almost identical on the lid. These two browns look almost identical on the eyes. These two green metallics look almost identical. This brown and this brown look almost identical. You get what I'm saying, right? A lot of these shades look so incredibly similar. So I think they could have definitely done something different in terms of that. So that's kind of my opinion on that. Other than that, it is a nice palette. It's good quality for the price. The packaging is nice. Again, do I recommend this? I mean, if you're looking for this color story on a budget, it is a good quality, much higher quality than the other three I've already mentioned. Okay, and now we are down to the top three. So coming in at number 3, I have the Natasha Denona Mini Biba palette. Okay, so listen, I love a neutral, brownish, rosy, pinky color story. I just do. I'm not out here trying to complain about a neutral color story because I love a neutral color story. On a daily basis, if I'm going to work, this is what I'm gonna wear. And I love, 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 love 4, 5, 6 pan palettes that have a neutral color story because I feel like it's so easy to not have to think. If you're in a rush, if you're trying to get out the door, it's early in the morning, you need to go to work, whatever the case is, you literally don't have to think when you're using something like this. I think it's great. I think it's definitely has its time and place. Am I gonna reach for this if I wanna like sit down and create a depthy look and kind of a smoky eye or something, be creative and have fun with my makeup? No, I'm not. I'm just not. But for a functional everyday eyeshadow palette, am I gonna reach for this? Hell yes, I am. So that's why it's ranked so high. I think the quality of these shadows is absolutely wonderful. Now, I will say, and I've heard this a lot, these two shadows are pretty damn similar. I wish that maybe they would have replaced one of these with a like super duper light metallic for like the inner corner. That would have been really, really nice, like a champagne-y color. I would have loved that. But I'm not complaining. I still prefer mattes over shimmers, like I've already just said. So having 4 mattes and a shimmer is fine with me. I'm totally okay with that. And like I said, the quality is great. So I'm not gonna complain about the quality. It's a good functional everyday palette. It's nothing that blows my mind. It's nothing that makes me feel creative or inspired, but it's nice. So I would say if it's in your price point and you're looking for something like that, it is a great palette. So I would recommend this one. But on the flip side, coming in at number 2, this palette inspires me. It makes me feel excited. It makes me feel creative. It makes me want to play with makeup. I am loving it. It is the Nomad Cosmetics Haunted Europe palette. I am obsessed with this palette.
No, I don't think you understand. I'm obsessed.
I'm obsessed with everything about it. The packaging, the theme, the embossing, the color story. I love this palette. I'm keeping the outer carton. That's how much I love it. Like, look at the artwork on this. I also think that this is just a so well thought out palette. A lot of their palettes, I mean, this is the first palette I've ever bought from Nomad, but I did pick up their Whistler Snow Lodge palette that they just came out with very recently. I'm excited to use that. I feel like their palettes are so themed and there's a lot of heart and passion that goes into it. I can tell it's not just something that's thrown together and put out to make some money. I love it. I think that is a big draw for me personally. It might not be for you. That's okay. But that is what it is for me. So it does have, and I've already showed this on my channel before, so you guys have probably seen this. It has like a holographic design on the front. It's very, very neat. And then on the inside it has a big giant mirror and it has all of the most beautiful colors. Love it. Love it. The matte shadows, I think are extremely user-friendly. They're not like super duper duper like bam, pigmented, hard to blend out or anything like that. They're good buildable matte shadows. So if you prefer that, you would really like this. The shimmers are really pretty, really sparkly. Again, not like a super thick, chunky metallic. They're more of a slicker, more sparkly, I don't know, they're just really pretty, really, really pretty metallics. I am wearing this palette on my eyes today. There's so many different looks you can create. Not all the looks are gonna come out looking the same. I've created quite a few looks that I've really enjoyed with this palette, and I just love it. I just love it. That's why it's at number 2. Okay, and coming in at number 1, I did use this one time in December of last year. So I'm counting it as January. I've already mentioned this on my channel before, so I'm not gonna go on and on and on and on and on about it. It is the ABH Norvina number 5. This has become one of my top favorite palettes in my collection, like top 3, top 4 maybe, of all the palettes that I own. The packaging, gorgeous. Luxe, really nice. The mirror, ginormous. I don't want to show you my messy room back there, actually. I'm changing my mind on that. The color story, really nice. Now, this is definitely more of a monochromatic palette. Most of the looks you're going to get from this are purple. That's just what you're walking into when you buy this palette. But I will tell you right now, the ease of use and the quality of these shadows, it's very, very good. These mattes are definitely more of that bam, in your face, pigmented off the bat type of formula. They're not super duper beginner friendly, okay, I will say that. But at the same time, they aren't difficult to blend, which I appreciate. The metallics are just stunning. More of that thicker, very metallic type of formula. I'm really enjoying this. I'm not a huge purple eyeshadow person. It's not something that I wear a lot, but whenever I use this palette, I do think to myself, why don't I wear purple eyeshadow more? I'm loving this. For a while, I had to kind of stop myself from reaching for this and try to be like, okay, Rachel, you need to try other things. Highly recommend this one. And I bought this on Black Friday. It was like 40% off or something like that. Well worth the price. I would say it's even worth full price if it's in your budget and if it's something that you want to spend 60 something dollars on, but number 1 palette last month. All right, and that is it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Leave me a comment down below if you've tried any of these palettes. What are your thoughts? Or let me know your number 1 favorite palette that you tried last month. I would love, 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 love to hear from you. I'm always down to discover new eyeshadow palettes. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. That helps me out a lot when you do that. And if you aren't already subscribed, I would love for you to subscribe before you leave. I do upload videos weekly, both beauty and fashion videos, and I would love to see you back on my channel. I want to thank you so much for watching today, and I will see you next time. Bye.